This book explains how the thoughts and behavior of others are changed in such a way that a person feels as if he is making all the decisions himself. Between 2004 and 2017, very big changes have come in the world. In today's politics, there is a lot of anger, fear, and hatred. Ordinary people feel that the system is cheating them. The internet and social media have made the situation even more dangerous. Online, people only listen to the things they like. Because of this, they get trapped in an echo chamber, in a limited world. Terrorist groups and extreme people take advantage of this and secretly manipulate the youth through the internet. To completely change someone's thinking, a special method is used. In this, first the person is separated from society and family. Then control is taken over his thinking and information. Doubt is created about his old ideas. After that, new and extreme things are repeated again and again. In the end, emotions are used to make that new thinking permanent forever. This work is sometimes done with force and sometimes with sweet talk and deception. Science has progressed so much today that we have started understanding the way the brain works and genes very well. In some experiments on animals, their memories have also been changed. This discovery is good for the treatment of diseases, but it also creates the fear that someone might misuse new technology and take control of human minds. Often, we all think that our mind is like a hard diamond that no one can change. But in reality, the human mind is like wet clay that easily gets molded under the influence of others and social influence. This book explains exactly how someone plays with our mind. We can save ourselves from this danger only when we have the correct information about it. The best way to protect ourselves is to build a society and politics where a person's personal freedom is the most important thing, and no one can forcibly change anyone's thinking. The word brainwashing came out at the time of the Korean War in 1950. When American soldiers were released from the enemy's captivity, they were praising the communist people. Those who had captured them had completely changed their minds. Edward Hunter gave the name brainwashing to this strange event in 1950. This is completely different from war stress or madness. In this, the enemy deliberately erases a person's old things and puts new thinking into his mind. This word is actually made from a Chinese word, shi nao. Its meaning is to clean the mind. Chinese people considered it a positive process, like treating someone's mind. But for America, it was a scary method. In today's time, this word is often used for changing someone else's thinking or just as an insult. Brainwashing is not just a machine-like method. It is a dangerous dream of gaining complete control over a person's thoughts and his actions. Often, when we cannot understand any reason for someone's strange behavior, we call it brainwashing for our own understanding. To understand it well, the case of Patty Hearst in 1974 is very famous. A very rich girl, Patty, was kidnapped. For a few weeks, the thugs scared and tortured her. Then suddenly, she started robbing a bank along with those thugs. Later, when she was caught, there was a debate in court whether she did all this of her own free will or whether she was brainwashed. Looking at the evidence, the jury believed that she was working of her own free will and sent her to jail. From this incident, four main things, four core components of brainwashing come forward. The first is intention, that is purpose, meaning it is done deliberately to change someone. The second is big change, cognitive difference, where there is a huge difference between a person's old and new thinking. The third is short time, that is time scale, meaning this change comes inside the person very quickly. And the fourth is last resort, when people do not see any other way to understand such strange behavior. Besides this, people who become victims of brainwashing get very deeply connected with emotions to their new thinking. In this matter, they do not listen to any correct talk or reasoning. To do this, often force, coercion, and fear are used. However, many times people also do this by pretending to love. In history, the old methods of torturing humans also worked exactly like this. The story of Thomas Cranmer explains brainwashing very well. Thomas was a big Protestant scholar who was there in the time of King Henry VIII. But when Henry's extreme Catholic daughter, Mary, became queen, she put Thomas in jail. He was given the death sentence, but was not killed immediately because Mary wanted to make him accept the Catholic religion. He was scared and threatened. All his facilities and books were taken away, and his friends were also kept away. When he had to watch his companions being burned alive, out of fear he accepted the Catholic religion. But later, because of regret over his decision, before dying he again declared his Protestant thinking correct and bravely embraced death. This story shows that brainwashing is not a new thing, but a centuries-old method. In this, scaring a person, leaving him alone, disturbing his sleep, and putting him in a condition where he becomes helpless are included. The same things happened in China's communist camps as well. People listened to one ideology for months, and from tiredness, their mind gave up. The story of Father Luca and Father Simon is also of the same kind. Father Luca was tortured a lot. When the pain became unbearable, he confessed to false crimes. To save himself, he accepted communist talks, but inside he remained firm on his thinking. On the other hand, Father Simon was a very emotional person. He loved China a lot. Therefore, he not only accepted communist talks, but made them a part of his life. In George Orwell's book, 1984, the character named Winston Smith also lives in a world where the party keeps control over everything. In this, watch is kept on every thought of a person, and no one can think against the party. Winston was tortured and taught to forget his old thinking and love the party. The book shows how a person can be changed through fear and pain. Brainwashing is actually a method where one person wants to gain complete authority over another's thinking. For this, often force, coercion, fear, and emotions are used. Psychology helps us understand how people influence each other. Brainwashing is not magic, but a dangerous method that is used to completely change someone. In 1950, the word brainwashing was used for the first time, and since then it is often used to explain those terrifying events whose any other reason cannot be understood. These events are not accidents, but someone or the other carries them out with a political or religious motive. How humans become beasts in the name of politics and religion. To understand this, The cases of Charles Manson and Jim Jones can be seen. Manson presented himself as God or the Messiah and trapped many girls with his sweet talk and deception. Later, he got several ruthless murders done by these very devotees. On the other hand, Jim Jones created an organization named People's Temple and declared himself the Messiah. When pressure increased on him and people started turning against him, he forced more than 900 people to commit suicide together by making them drink poison. From both these incidents, it becomes clear that such organizations make very strict rules and regulations. Their leader always considers himself correct and considers the rest of the world as his enemy. These people often trap the youth because they easily fall for talks and they need a new identity and belonging. Gradually, these organizations become so extreme that violence and destruction become their final outcome. We humans are part of many kinds of groups in our life. Groups being there is not only necessary, but also very important for keeping our thoughts and language correct. Philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein explained that no language can be formed alone. We can understand the correct meaning of any word or idea only when we look at others' talks and their way of thinking. Therefore, we always need others so that we stay connected to reality and our ideas stay on the right path. Our mind is used to dividing things and people into different parts or categories. We often look at the world from the perspective of these groups. That is us and them. That is out-group. When people become part of a group, they match each other a lot, and their way of working also becomes the same. Joining any group gives us a special identity, and we start considering that group's success as our own success. A cult is also such a group in which there is a leader and devotees who follow him. But in a cult, some things become very dangerous. As people join this group, they forget their old identity and freedom. The cult leader often separates his people from the world and puts such extreme things in their minds that have nothing to do with reality. Many times, the end of these organizations is very horrifying, and people take terrifying steps like murder or suicide. When cult people do such terrifying work, often people say that they were brainwashed. But psychology tells that this is not magic. Cult leaders take advantage of people's emotions and make them feel that the whole world is their enemy. When the cult becomes the biggest part of a person's life, he forgets the difference between right and wrong, and under group pressure, becomes ready to do anything. Any group becomes dangerous when it completely cuts itself off from the rest of the world, or when it blindly runs after some big and misleading idea that no one can challenge. People of such a group start considering themselves better and purer than others, and those who do not have thinking like them, they consider them their enemy. Many organizations running in the name of religion and politics spread extremism. That is radicalism in the same way. And when a person comes under group pressure, he can very easily commit any crime. We understood that in brainwashing, often force is used, like in some cults, but people also say that brainwashing happens in advertising, media, and education as well. The difference is only that here no one forces, but they secretly put things into our mind. They promote a special kind of thinking so that people accept their place in society and no change comes in the system. Advertising, that is advertisements, and education do not work by directly scaring, but they try completely to change our ideas. If we talk about advertising, social psychologist Robert Cialdini has told that salesmen and advertisement makers use 6 special methods. The first method is to make people agree to some small thing, commitment, so that later they agree to a big thing as well. The second is favor, that is reciprocity, where they give you some small gift so that in return you do some big work for them or buy some expensive thing of theirs. Besides this, using some famous face, some authority, or some person whom you like quickly makes people agree by showing things as less or by telling that everyone is buying it. They put you in greed. A good advertisement tries that you do not think much, but directly get carried away by emotions and take a decision. To sell something, they often take advantage of your basic needs and greed, like showing women in car advertisements, which has nothing to do with driving a car, but they try to connect the car with some other desire of yours. Advertisements slowly affect your mind, but they cannot change you completely like cults do. However, people's real fear is not from 1 or 2 advertisements, but from the whole media environment. Media decides what we think about and how we think. TV, newspapers, and internet together create such an environment where our thinking slowly starts going in one direction. People feel this fear that are we moving toward a world where all our needs will be fulfilled, but in return, our freedom to think will be taken away. Nowadays, media works very cleverly. There is no one dictator who is controlling everything. Rather, due to market competition and the greed for profit, media has started serving similar content. Newspapers and TV present complex issues in a very easy and superficial way, so that people easily fall for their talks. However, we do not believe every advertisement, and our own thinking also has an effect. But the way media works is taking us somewhere in the same direction where complete control can be taken over our thinking. Brainwashing is considered like cleaning with water. In the same way, its another meaning is also connected with mental treatment. When this word first came out in 1950, many people compared brainwashing and mental treatment, that is psychiatric treatment. Edward Hunter connected the brainwashing experience of a Chinese student with an American mental hospital. The psychiatrist felt that he was fixing his patient's mind, exactly the same way brainwashing people feel that they are cleaning others' minds. Often those who forcibly change others' minds call it a kind of treatment or welfare. They use such language as if they are freeing the person from sins or giving him true freedom. In George Orwell's book, 1984 also, the one torturing Winston says the same thing, that he is not giving him punishment but treating him so that his thinking can become correct. However, in the 1960s and 1970s, many big doctors and experts, psychiatrists, opposed this thinking. Their belief was that if a person behaves differently from the rules made by society, then calling him mad or sick and putting him in hospital is not correct. This was considered not treatment, but wrong use of the power of government or society. Scholars like Thomas Sass said that locking such people in hospitals without their will is completely wrong. Besides this, some psychologists Some mental scientists who work for the government have so much power that they can declare a criminal that he cannot improve and give him the death sentence. This is quite similar to dictatorial thinking. In today's time, in the list of mental diseases, many strange habits or natures have also been included, which have no direct connection with physical disease. Despite this, people have a lot of trust in mental treatment. Its biggest reason is authority. Robert Cialdini told this as a big method of convincing people. We often easily trust the talks of those people who have a degree or high status in society, even if the information given by them is not completely correct. The work of the army is to make ordinary citizens into such a soldier who does not hesitate in killing the enemies of the country. For this, they are taught strict discipline and obedience, that is, following orders. Stanley Milgram, in his famous experiment, showed that if the one giving the order is a big officer, then good and ordinary people also become ready to harm others. When people are made to believe that their work is for the protection of the country, then they easily do such a thing. In army training, that is military training, soldiers are taught to work together with each other. They are always made to understand that following orders is their biggest duty, so that if they do something wrong, also, then its responsibility does not come on them, but on the officers above. In modern wars, new technology has made it easy for people to attack from far away. When the soldier does not see the enemy in front of his eyes, then he has no sense of guilt in killing him. The army feels the feeling of love and brotherhood among soldiers, so that for the sake of their companions, they do not feel any hesitation in killing the enemy. Is army training brainwashing? Most experts do not consider it brainwashing, because soldiers also have the freedom to take decisions, and they join the army voluntarily. This is part of human psychology, that is social psychology, that he works for his group by following orders. Similar things are also seen in the criminal justice system. For example, the laws made regarding drugs often seem discriminatory. From legal things like alcohol and cigarettes, thousands of people die every year. Still, there is no ban on them. On the other hand, such fear is created regarding some illegal drugs, as if their use will make people terrible criminals. Often the target of these laws becomes poor or lower class people, because of which an atmosphere of fear is created in society. French philosopher Michel Foucault believed that the real purpose of the criminal justice system is not to bring people on the right path, but to keep strict watch on them. When society starts feeling that someone else is taking control over them, then people often oppose it, or then they give up and sit quietly. A human always wants to think that he himself takes the decisions of his life. The real fear of brainwashing is this only, that no one takes control over our thinking, our thoughts, and our decisions. In the family and home also, in the form of domestic abuse, a kind of brainwashing is seen. A person doing domestic abuse takes advantage of every weakness of his partner and gradually completely dominates him. In the beginning, he taunts on small things, and when the other person does not oppose, then he starts crossing his limits. Gradually, the victim person's self-confidence, that is self-esteem, breaks so much that he starts feeling helpless. Brainwashing is not a magical method. Rather, it is a process of gradually molding someone's mind according to oneself. That is manipulation. A process. Whether it is a cult, the army, or a person doing domestic abuse. All try in different ways to change people's ideas, their thoughts, and their behavior. In these, the most important is taking away a person's freedom and completely bringing him under one's control. Now we will understand how the techniques of brainwashing affect our mind. To know which, we will have to understand neuroscience. That is the science of the mind. Science tells us that our mind is not like a hard diamond that never changes, but it is like clay that keeps molding according to our experiences. In Western countries, it is often believed that our thinking never changes, and we always work of our own free will. But brainwashing takes advantage of this very thing. It changes a person's thinking, and he feels that he himself is taking decisions. Our mind is made of many neurons. These neurons are the messengers of our mind, message carriers, which work by sending signals to each other. When we learn something new, then the connection between these neurons becomes strong. If something is repeated again and again, then it sits deeply in our mind. Brainwashing also works in the same way. In this, one idea is repeated so many times that it becomes a part of the person's mind. The mind can roughly be divided into two parts. The lower part, that is subcortex, and the upper part, that is cortex. The lower part controls our basic needs, our fundamental needs, like breathing, heart beating, and temperature, about which we do not have to think, while the upper part, that is cortex, does the work of our thinking, understanding, taking decisions, and remembering. It is divided into 4 different parts, that is lobes, which handle different works of seeing, hearing, and understanding. When we see or hear something again and again, then our mind changes itself according to it. In brainwashing, a person is kept again and again in the same environment and told the same kind of things. Because of this, the connections of the neurons of his mind change, and his whole thinking turns in the same direction, which he considers as his truth. We often think that after a certain age, our mind and our identity become completely fixed or solid. We are very afraid of changing our identity, whether it is from some disease or from brainwashing. But the truth is that our mind keeps changing all the time. When we see or feel anything new, then a change happens in our mind. Like if someone's hand is cut, then that part of the mind gets connected with the nerves of the face. Then, on touching the face, it feels as if the cut hand is being touched. Many such small changes happen every day, which we cannot recognize. The old thinking was that our mind is like a hard diamond on which the body has no effect. But this is completely wrong. Our food also has a direct effect on the mind, like the good fat, unsaturated fat, found in fish or green vegetables, helps the nerves of the mind, that is neurons, to work better. With its use, the anger and violent behavior of criminals has also been seen reducing. In the same way, with some special magnetic fields, a feeling of God or some religious experience, that is spiritual experience, can also be produced in our mind. We feel that we have not changed because our memory makes us feel like that, but there are many shortcomings in our memory. we often unknowingly change our old memory, edit it, so that we feel that we have always remained the same. Actually, we do not have one identity. On different occasions, we play different roles or schemas. Like sometimes boss, then sometimes father. In the language of the mind, when some nerves, some neurons work together, then their mutual connection becomes very strong. The connections of those ideas or habits which we use less become weak. Through advertisements, these can easily be changed. But the connections of those ideas which we live every day are very strong, and those only make our real identity. The effect of advertisements is slow, like the flow of water, while forced brainwashing is like a terrible earthquake. It shakes our most fixed ideas and our real identity from the root and gives a new shape. As soon as we see or hear something new, a change happens in our mind. Our mind is like flowing water, which slowly makes its path. Now we will try to understand how our ideas and our thinking make a path in our mind. When we form some thinking about something, then it gets connected with other ideas in our mind. If we get some new information which is different from our old thinking, then a strange kind of restlessness starts happening in our mind. A cognitive dissonance starts happening. In such a situation, a person often tries to prove his old thinking correct. If that thinking is weak, like about something which is not very necessary for us, then we easily change it. But if that thinking is very strong, like about religion or opinion about oneself, then changing it is very difficult. In our mind, ideas, that is thoughts, are spread like a net, a web. When we do some work again and again, or hear some talk again and again, then this net, this web becomes strong. Like if there is a small and straight canal of water, then water will flow fast from it. In the same way, if some idea, some belief is straight and easy, even if it is not true, then the mind quickly adopts it, and that thinking becomes very strong. This is the reason that extreme or easy ideas quickly sit in people's minds, and then their behavior also starts happening according to that. Our mind does not take new information as it is, but filters it through the sieve of its old ideas. The mind keeps estimating all the time what is going to happen ahead. When it comes to know something which does not match its old thinking, then it either changes that information or ignores it. Sometimes people make very strange and absurd stories to justify their thinking. In easy words, our mind has a world of ideas settled. Cognitive landscape is there. When we hear something new, then our mind bends it according to its convenience and old thinking. We see and hear only what we want to see or hear. To save this very world of ours, we run away from such people and such information which challenge our thinking. Brainwashing takes advantage of this very thing. It gradually strengthens or weakens this net of your mind and changes your whole thinking. When we talk to someone on the telephone, then we know who is on the other side. This is because of our old memories and ideas. Many times such ideas also form in our mind about which we do not even come to know. People doing advertising and propaganda take advantage of this very thing. When our attention is somewhere else, then they put good or bad things about something or person into our mind. In most cases, we know what we are thinking or what we like or dislike. But when something is shown or told again and again, then that thinking sits so much in our mind that we feel as if it is true. Our ideas are also like our memories, which can become blurry with time, or after some terrible incident can get printed forever in our mind. We try to know about those big and misleading ideas, which are often connected with emotion and which are difficult to prove true or false. Such ideas have no direct connection with reality, but take strength from the emotions rising from inside us. Because of this, reasoning has no effect on them. Many scientists and people believe that only religion promotes such things, and science is always tested on the touchstone of truth. But this is not completely true. Many religious people work in the real world for the welfare of society, while in science also, there are many things which we accept without any solid evidence. The truth is that a human can get so connected with any idea or ideology that he does not see anything else in front of it, whether that idea is religious or political. In history also, there have been many dictatorial governments which did not accept religion, but took the lives of lakhs of people. This is the nature of us humans, that we see and understand everything in our own way. Some people are so firm about their thinking that they do not easily accept any new thing. They often also have the power to influence others, while some people are open-minded and quickly adopt new things. But they also quickly fall for others' talks. This can feel a little scary to understand how our thinking and our ideas are formed or changed, and how someone else can change them without our will. But to understand it well, we will have to understand emotions and the power of thinking and understanding. Emotions are a very big weapon to change a person's thinking. When we feel emotions like fear or anger, then many kinds of changes happen in our body, like heart beating fast or sweating. Scientists believe that first these changes happen in our body, and then we feel that emotion. These emotions are a kind of shortcuts for our mind, which help us take a quick decision about something. Many times we ourselves do not come to know how our emotions are changing, and how by looking at others, we start feeling like them. In politics and advertising, often these very emotions are used. They use some such words. Some such emotive words which produce love or hatred inside us towards some special thing or person. When some emotion becomes very strong, then it dominates our thinking, our reason, and then we cannot decide right or wrong. Emotions like fear, anger, or hatred can force us to do some such work about which we cannot even think in normal condition. When we face some tension or danger or stressful situation, then our body immediately becomes active. Heartbeat increases. Muscles and mind get more blood, and hormones named adrenaline and glucocorticoids come out in the body. These changes prepare us to fight the danger or run away from there. But if this tension or stress remains for a long time, then it can weaken our heart, muscles, and immune system. At the time of stress, our mind becomes very alert towards every small signal. But remaining in stress for a long time, neurons get tired, and their effect starts reducing. In advertisements, often new or sudden kinds of things are used because our mind always searches for something new and unique. In brainwashing, advantage is taken of this very thing. People are kept continuously in stress and new pressure, because of which that part of their mind that is prefrontal cortex becomes weak, which does the work of thinking and taking decisions. The effect of stress is different on different people. On some people, like those with antisocial personality disorder, the effect of stress is very less. While some people get scared quickly, many times people make strong emotions an excuse for their mistakes. They say that I got so angry that I could not control myself. But psychologist Roy Baumeister believes that a human himself decides to control himself. It is not that they cannot stop their desires, but they leave trying to stop them. When we feel some emotion, then the lower part of our mind, that is subcortex, and the upper part, that is cortex, work together. The amygdala, present in the lower part, produces emotion like fear or happiness inside us by seeing something, while the upper part, that is prefrontal cortex, helps us understand what is the reason behind that emotion and how we should behave. Emotions are very necessary for us because they help us understand the world and take correct decisions. But when strong emotions like fear, hatred, or happiness are connected with someone's ideas, then a person loses his power of thinking and understanding. Politicians and advertisement makers take advantage of this only. Through words, they produce hatred or sympathy inside us, because of which we accept their talks as true without thinking. In brainwashing also, by using such misleading ideas and strong emotions, complete control is taken over a person's thinking. People often try to change others' ideas, but this does not always succeed. If a person thinks carefully, then he can make these attempts unsuccessful. But during brainwashing, the pressure is so much that a person cannot think. To understand how this happens, we need to know which part of our mind gives us the power to stop and think. This part is right behind our forehead, which is called prefrontal cortex, or PFC. Prefrontal cortex is that part of the mind about which scientists are still learning a lot. It is also called the boss, or CEO of the mind, because it does necessary works like our thinking, taking decisions, controlling ourselves, and understanding the difference between right and wrong. It is connected with other parts of our mind, especially those parts which control emotions. When we feel like doing some work, like getting angry at someone, then prefrontal cortex stops us from doing that work immediately and gives us a chance to think what harms can happen from this. Brainwashing people try to weaken this very prefrontal cortex so that a person accepts their talks without thinking. If in some accident prefrontal cortex gets damaged, then a person's memory and intelligence remain the same. But he forgets the rules of society and takes any decision without thinking. To understand this, we can take the example of the working of eyes, that is, eye movements. When we see some easy thing like a shining light in the dark, then our mind immediately turns our eyes in that direction. For this, a small part of the mind, which is called superior colliculus, or SC, does not need to ask any other part. This is why in advertising and brainwashing, easy and direct messages are used, so that the mind immediately gives reaction, automatic response, and does not get a chance to think. But when we see some complex thing, like many things in a picture, then this part alone cannot take a decision. Then this information goes to other parts of the mind like PPC and FEF, which decide on which thing we should pay attention. This process is so fast that we do not even come to know about it. If still the decision cannot be taken, then the information goes to the boss of the mind. That is prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex uses our old experiences and memories to help us decide what we should do. This is the process of stopping and thinking. Stop and think. If prefrontal cortex does not work properly, then a person knows what is correct, but he cannot take the correct decision at that time. In easy words, our mind works like a company, where decisions are taken at every level. Easy works get done at the lower level, SC, PPC, and FEF only. But when some difficult decision has to be taken, or our emotions have to be controlled, then that matter goes to the boss. That is prefrontal cortex. Brainwashing people weaken this very boss so that they can completely capture the person's mind. After knowing all this question arises: that do we really have our own free will, or are all our decisions predetermined? This debate is very old in science and philosophy. If our mind takes decisions only on the basis of old experiences and neurons, then where is our freedom? Actually, freedom is in this, that we can think about the future, and by learning from our previous experiences, can change our future decisions. The meaning of our freedom is not that there is no reason for our decisions. Rather, freedom is that those reasons are our own, like our own desires and ideas. The real fear of brainwashing is this only that some other person puts his ideas into our mind, and we feel that they are our own ideas. We have understood till now that the meaning of brainwashing is to change someone's mind and his ideas. When suddenly very strong emotions are put as pressure on someone, then his old ideas break and new ideas sit deeply in his mind. This is called forced brainwashing. On the other hand, through advertisements slowly and continuously, some talk is put into our mind which we cannot recognize, and gradually we adopt it. This is called hidden brainwashing. Whenever we feel that someone is trying to trap us in his talks, then that part of our mind, prefrontal cortex, becomes active, which gives us the power to stop and think. Every person's mind is not the same. Because of our genes and our surrounding environment, everyone's mind works differently. This is the reason that some people easily fall for others' talks, while some people remain firm and do not fall for others' talks. The art of influencing others has also become very clever with time. We often buy that goods by falling for the talks of advertisements or salesmen, which we do not even need. Many times we take a decision without thinking, because there is not much loss for us in it. But many times people make others agree for such things also, which can be harmful for them, like joining some cult and putting their life at risk. Brainwashing people face two big difficulties. The first difficulty is time and effort. To put new ideas into a person's mind, they have to be repeated again and again, so that it becomes the person's habit. This is why cults often separate people from their family and friends, so that they do not face old ideas, and new ideas can easily be put into their mind. The second difficulty is that these influence technicians always do not know what is going on in the front person's mind. If new ideas match the person's old thinking, then they can easily be adopted. But if it is not so, then to understand the person's habits, they ask questions. If the person is clever, then he understands and steps back. Still, in some cases, forced or hidden brainwashing finishes a person's power of thinking and understanding. Science tells that this power of a person's mind depends on three things: how many ideas are already there in his mind, how strong they are, and how much capacity he has to stop and think. The more educated, experienced, and open a person's mind is, the less will be the effect of brainwashing on him. If there are many different ideas and experiences in the mind, then any new idea cannot easily change it. But if there are less paths for ideas in the mind, then any new talk affects deeply. This is the reason that age, education, creativity, and life's experiences protect us from falling for others' talks. People of less age or less experience often quickly fall for others' talks and take a decision without thinking. While understanding people keep the habit of stopping and thinking. But sometimes on those whose ideas are very fixed and strong, also it is difficult to effect brainwashing. Some people are so firm about their ideas that they do not easily accept new things. But if some very powerful method puts a new idea into their mind, then they adopt it with the same strictness. When we face some tension or danger, then our body becomes alert. But if this stress remains for a long time, then that part of our mind becomes weak, which does the work of thinking and taking decisions. Brainwashing people take advantage of this very thing. They keep the person continuously in stress and make him tired so that he accepts their talks without thinking. Many times people take wrong decisions by getting carried away in strong emotions. Emotions work like a shortcut for our mind, but often they push us toward big loss in the greed of short-time benefit. Brainwashing people take advantage of these emotions, and by producing fear or guilt inside the person, force him to work according to them. Inside us, the emotions of freedom and reactance are also very important. Whenever someone tries to take away our freedom, then we oppose it. Clever people, instead of giving direct order, make people feel that they are working of their own free will so that they easily accept their talk. In the end, those people who try to brainwash others have a very high desire to rule over others. They often present their talks in a very easy and clear way so that people easily fall for their talks. But the real protection is in this, that we keep our mind open. Learn new things and always put the habit of stopping and thinking so that no one can easily trap us in his talks. In society, also ideas have a very big effect. Some ideas spread like a disease and change people's thinking so much that they refuse to see the truth also. When some idea becomes very strong, then a person starts looking at the world through its glasses and bends the truth according to himself. In society, there are many such ideas which most people consider true. For any society or country, ideas like freedom, justice, and equality are very necessary, especially when that country is new or its conditions are not good. When people's life is good, then they do not want much change and easily accept different ideas. Education shows people how much better the world can be. But when they see poverty, corruption, or restrictions around them, then opposition is born in their mind. If big dreams are shown to people, but there is no path to fulfill them, then this anger often turns into violence. Some countries' governments try to stop this by putting restrictions on media and education. But in today's time, doing so is very difficult. In society, the biggest medium of spreading ideas is media, like newspapers, TV, and internet. Those people or governments who want to capture the public's mind often try to keep media under their control. But as the world is connecting, completely controlling media has become difficult. The news which are shown to us in media are never completely true. Every news has a special perspective of presenting, a frame or bias. The way someone tells his favorite story, in the same way media also presents news with such words and methods which get connected with our emotions. This work is done so cleverly that we do not even come to know that our thinking is being changed. To change people's thinking together, force does not always work. By forcing people oppose, and a lot of effort and money is spent on this. Therefore, most people, these governments, change people's minds secretly. They use such words and ideas which sound good. They show the fear of some external enemy so that people remain in stress, in tension, and accept their talks without thinking. Any clever leader does not impose very big changes suddenly, but he slowly puts his talk into people's mind. He shows himself very confident, very self-confident, and strong. Single-minded, because people often fall for the talks of those leaders who make big and clear promises. Anyway, whether it is force or cleverness, completely changing anyone's mind overnight is not possible. But as neuroscience and technology are progressing, this danger of controlling the mind can increase even more. Ahead, we will try to understand whether in the future, people's mind can really be completely controlled. In the future, science and technology can find new methods of controlling the mind. Through nanotechnology or magnetic fields, neurons of the mind can be directly affected. It is possible that in the future, some such method comes by which a person's memories or ideas are changed without his knowledge. With the help of genes and DNA, also a person's behavior can be changed. It is possible that in the future the genes of people having some special kind of thinking, that is extremist, are changed. Or then some special disease is given as punishment. All this feels a little scary, because if this happens, then a person's freedom and his own thinking will finish. A world where everything is under control, there a human will remain only as a puppet. But till now, science has not progressed so much that it can completely read or change every idea of a person. Every person's mind is different. Therefore, for mass control, still old methods work more. If we are firm about our thinking, then it is difficult for others to change us. But if we do not learn new things, do not go to new places, or always remain in stress, then our mind starts becoming weak, and we can easily fall for others' talks. Therefore, to protect ourselves, it is necessary that we keep our mind open, learn new things, and meet different kinds of people. In society, there are many such ideas which can be very dangerous, like thinking that only our religion or our country is correct. These ideas often take strength from fear and hatred. When some person gets surrounded by such ideas, then he does not listen to anyone, and sometimes he becomes ready even to take or give life for this. Such people cannot be changed only by explaining or debating. For this, it is necessary to understand why this hatred was born in their mind. Often behind this, their bad conditions, poverty, or injustice is there. When people feel that discrimination is happening with them, then they easily become victims of such dangerous ideas. If we improve their conditions, like give them the right of education and freedom, then this hatred and anger inside them will start reducing by itself. In the end, the best way to protect ourselves and our society from these dangerous ideas is that we create such an environment where every kind of idea is respected. We should keep our thinking open and put the habit of raising questions on every talk. Education and free media, independent media, teach us this only. When in our mind many paths of thinking and understanding will be open, then no one will be able to easily trap us in his talks. In this book, only this much. We will meet you again in a new episode with a new book. You are listening to Think Again. Thank you.